The next question that students ask me is, what is the difference between can and could when asking questions? Well, can is ability, could is possibility. So let's look at an example. Can you help me? Could you help me? What is the difference between these two?
I don't know.
Now, most of my students say, well, could in this case is more polite. But if I add the word please at the end of can you help me, then that is more polite than could. No, can and could have nothing to do with more or less polite. Can has to do with ability, could has to do with possibility. So can you help me actually means do you have the ability? For example, if you have a problem at work and you ask one of your coworkers for help but you don't know what their abilities are, then you would ask, can you help me? And if they have the ability, they will say, yes, I can. But if they don't have the ability, then they will say, no, I can't. I don't know how to do that or how to fix that. But what if you ask your supervisor or someone that you know has the ability? Then the correct question is, could you help me? What are you asking? You are asking if they have the time or if it is possible for them to help you at the moment. So, can you help me is do you have the ability? And could you help me is do you have the time? And a great example of could not being more polite is when you go to a restaurant in any English-speaking country. The waiter will never say, how could I help you? That will get them fired right away. Instead, they always say, how can I help you? And waiters have to be very polite. So could has nothing to do with politeness. It has to do with possibility or time. The next modal verb we will talk about is should. So I ask my students, what does this mean? Many of my students surprisingly say that should is the past of shall. I'm sorry, but this is incorrect. Should is actually used in the present or the future. And in first person singular, it is used as a low possibility of obligation, of necessity, or of suggestion. When it is used in first person singular, there usually is an excuse or a reason added to the phrase. So let's compare should with have to, need to, and must. First example, I have to work to make money. So if you have an obligation where you have to work, then it is 100%. It's an obligation. But if I say, I should work to make money, but my parents pay for everything, that is a low possibility that you are actually going to work to make money. Example number 2. I need to drink water every day. This is a necessity, so it's 100%. But if I say, I need to drink water every day, but I love soda, this implies that you are not drinking water every day. It's a very low possibility that you are doing this. Example number 3. I must take a shower every day. Must is stronger than have to, so it is 100% when you say I must do something. But if I say I should take a shower every day, but I don't have any hot water, well, here you are saying that you are not taking a shower every day. It's a low possibility that you are doing this. Now, if should is not the past of shall, then what does shall mean? Well, shall is a combination of should and will. It's actually used like will, but in formal situations. For example, I shall go to your wedding. So the next question I ask my students is, what is the past of should? That's right. Just like could has a past, could have, should also has a past tense, should have. Now, should have is used for regret. But what is regret? Regret is when you feel bad for something that you did or didn't do in the past. For example, I should have drank water every day. Now I'm in the hospital. Here you regret not drinking water. I shouldn't have listened to my friends. Here you're showing regret that you actually listened to your friends. The final 2 verbs that we will talk about are would and will. Now I ask my students, what is would? They say it's the past of will. This is also incorrect. Would is used in the present or the future, and it implies that you want something that is possible to get. For example, I would like ice cream. Here you're saying that you want something, you want some ice cream, and it is possible to get. Now, what is the difference between would and will? Will is used in the present or the future for something that you plan to do. I will eat ice cream right now. Now, would is used in two different ways in this case. If you want something, if you can say I would like, and you don't have to give a reason why, it's a possibility. But if you use another verb after would, then you have to give a reason. For example, I would eat ice cream right now, but I'm on a diet. This means that it is possible for you to eat ice cream if you break your diet, so there's a condition. Now, what is the past tense of would? You guessed it. Would have. Would have is used when you wanted something in the past, but you didn't get. For example, I would have loved to go to Japan, but the tickets were too expensive. Here it implies that it was possible for me to go to Japan if the tickets had not been so expensive. So these are the basic ways of using the modal verb. In this video, I wasn't able to notice how I'm using it. I wasn't able to show every single way that these modal verbs are used. For example, I didn't show the negative forms of these verbs, and there are many other ways of using these verbs. So if you have any questions of other ways to use these verbs, then please leave it in the comments, and I will make another video about modal verbs in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next class.